There's new outrage over the Senate's version of the National Defense Authorization Act. Why? Because this year's bill includes language that may require American women to register for the draft. Women have never had to register before. Some Republicans are not happy, like Missouri Senator Josh Hawley saying, quote, "I'm not voting for any defense bill that forces my daughter to register for the draft, not now, not ever." And Texas Congressman Chip Roy adding, quote, "over my dead body." Morgan Ortagus, you're in the Navy Reserve. I want to know your thoughts.
Well, this is Morgan Ortagus' opinion, and not anyone from the Department of Defense. I think women should volunteer, as I did. I do not think that women should register for the draft. I agree with both members that you just quoted. Listen, we do have some historic challenges that our military is facing right now. A historic recruitment crisis, retention problems, a war with China that we are trying to deter, war in multiple theaters. To me, that's what the DoD should be focused on. This provision has been in the NDA before in the past and never actually made it through. But listen, we've seen some positive things in the reserves since I think like 2005. We've had an increase of about 4.4% of women that voluntarily joined. So listen, no one hired me for my for my bronze. They hired me for my brains. I'm not competing with our friends, the Navy SEALs, but I give back and serve in my own way. And there's plenty of ways for women to serve. I would finally just add, there's sort of this outdated notion that women can't be on the front lines. If you're on a ship and you're, in the South China Sea or you're in the Pacific, there's men and women on the ship. That is the front line against the Chinese Communist Party. We've certainly seen that in GWAT over the last 20 years as well. So, ladies, join, but, do it, volunteer. Do it at your own.
The American public agrees with you, Morgan. Ipsos showed that in 2016, 63% agreed with women being a part of the draft. Now it's 45%, Emily.
Right. I see the recruitment crisis. My heart has broken, I think, with the reason why, which is that under the last social culture of the last few years, there's been a decrease in fostering national pride. So to me, I think absolutely every young person should do some type of civic volunteering. I love the idea of signing everyone up to help this country, but it starts with a pride in our country, a pride in our flag, a pride in our military, so that these young people want to do it voluntarily with the passions that they cultivate. And certainly it doesn't start with lowering, standards and physicality and all the like and forcing people to do something. I think we start from the top down.
Harris, for those worried about mothers and daughters being forced to do something, Lori Manning, a retired U.S. Navy captain, told the Daily Beast, just registering for selective service doesn't mean somebody's daughter is going to end up in the trenches. Congress can decide where these people would serve. I, for one, don't really want Congress deciding these matters.
I'm actually right where Emily is on this issue. And that is the idea that the person who holds the title right now, Commander-in-Chief, needs to take that bully pulpit and sell it. Sell the concept of what it really means to love this country and to do anything that you would patriotically to help her. Whether that is in service, as coming from a military family, I can tell you everybody on base had this idea of all hands on deck. If something's going on, whether it's a social event on base, whatever it is, we're in it together. And, we still only make up about 1% of the whole population, military families. So let's get more people involved in moving forward as a unified country. Back in past war times, women were using their pantyhose to make things. I mean, we were all in it together, but that takes a commander-in-chief who does respect and love the military and would understand, don't look at your watch on the tarmac in Afghanistan after 13 U.S. service people have just been killed.
Can I just back Harris up? Do you mind, Brian? I just want to say, because what the women, because the military is still predominantly male, the women like your mother and the women that are keeping the home front burning, that are raising children, and the men who do this too whenever the wives are away. I mean, it's these families, it's the children, it's the spouses. Don't forget that it's their service as well.
That's right.
Anytime someone thanks me for my service, I think you have to thank my family. You have to thank my husband, the number of drill weekends that he's at home alone, with our child. So I just thank you, Brian, for letting me jump in, because I think it's so important to remember that you don't have to be in the uniform to be serving. The spouses are doing just as much to help.
Brian.
A couple of things. I have no problem with women. It's an organizational thing. So you just hit the list. You understand the regions, the background, the marital status, whatever. You put that in, it's organizational. We'd have to have a world war for this to be considered. I mean, if these are skirmishes, we've already seen 4 or 5 wars over the last 20 years. We're not, there's no draft of men or women. So I would say, number two, so many people get out of college and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want to do. So if there was 2 years where everyone knew in the 50s and 60s where you had to be drafted, everyone knew. So for 2 years, what are you going to do? You can do Peace Corps. You're going to do volunteering here. There's a whole bunch of things to volunteer for. There's a traditional Army. So you know for those 2 years, I'm going to do mine before college. I'm going to do mine after. I'm going to do instead. I'm not going to go to college at all. Those 2 years, you go meet a ton of people in different regions you never saw before, especially if you're in an environment where you're not traveling, going on vacation as a kid. You expose yourself. You're probably a better person on the other side in an organizational way. But my 2 daughters are athletes. I mean, I would think that I would see there's no difference if they went to those camps, went to boot camp as opposed to, it'll be a lot harder, but I won't think they would have any problem with it.
I think we just made a recruitment team. For our patriotism.
We need the help.
And on that note, thank you to our men and women in uniform who serve every day and their spouses.
That's right.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.